and I'm going to be talking to you today about the relationship between the United States and Mexico. So, did you know that the United States and Mexico in 2016 alone traded approximately $525 billion worth of goods, where the United States exported approximately $200 billion and imported approximately $300 billion from Mexico? So that's a lot of goods that have been traded, and that shows how important the United States and Mexico have been to each other. So the relationship between the United States and Mexico has been pretty tense in recent years. The relationship started with the Mexican-American War in 1845, where the U.S. Army and the Texan Army fought the Mexican Army, which sounds really repetitive there, over Texan independence. And it ended with Mexican General Santa Anna being captured, and it resulted in Texan independence and becoming a U.S. state. There have also been conflicts over immigration, mainly illegal immigration, crimes such as drug trafficking, and trade. So the question I wanted to answer was, how could the tense relationship between the United States and Mexico be improved? And I came to the conclusion that free trade will actually improve the relationship between the United States and Mexico. And so just a little background on free trade between the two countries. It started in 1994 with the implementation of NAFTA, which is known as the North American Free Trade Agreement, which was an agreement that allowed free trade between the United States, Mexico, and Canada. And it lasted from 1994 until 2018, I think around September was when it ended, and it was followed by the USMCA, which stands for the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, and it's similar to NAFTA. It still allows free trade. It's just an improved version of NAFTA. And so here I provided a chart that shows how the trade has changed with the implementation of free trade. So free trade was started here, and you can see, with the exception of a few years, a pretty steady growth all the way up until when the chart ended in 2015. And so why will free trade improve the relationship between the two countries? So free trade will benefit them both economically, because they won't have to pay each other to bring in imports or to export goods to each other. And so since they won't have to pay each other, that will alone improve their relationship. And that will make them want, since they'll be able to save money, they'll want to start trading with each other more, and the relationship will just keep getting better and better. So in restricted trade, which is trade with tariffs, both countries will have to pay, so they will both have to spend wealth, which will not improve the relationship. It would be detrimental to their relationship. And also, free trade protects American jobs, and it protects American markets. So that will make all Americans happy that their jobs won't be shipped overseas. And free trade also improves Mexico's middle class, which will make Mexico happy and improve the relationship between the two countries. So the other side of the argument is that restricted trade will actually improve their relationship. And the people that believe this believe in something called protectionism, which is the idea of implementing protective tariffs to protect local economies. And all protectionism does is it forces companies, instead of buying foreign goods, buy local goods, which will therefore improve local economies. And these people believe that if they improve local economies in both the United States and Mexico, their relationship will improve. But because the United States and Mexico still have to trade with each other, since they're such big trading partners, they're going to have to pay each other in order to bring in imports and export goods, which is why I think that restricted trade would actually be detrimental to their relationship. So a final reason why free trade will be improved, why free trade will improve the relationship, is because free trade has turned Mexico into a little bit more of a democracy than it was in the past. And this causes them to have similar governments, and they will therefore start to agree on topics, which will improve the relationship. And also, democracies have lower crime rates than non-democracies, and so that will lower the crime rates since they have become more of a democracy, which will make more Americans want to vacation there, since there are some places in Mexico that are large vacation spots, and so more Americans will go, and that will improve the relationship because it will improve the Mexican economy. So free trade has allowed the United States and Mexico to improve their relationship and move past their dark past due to it, since it has benefited them both economically. And just think, what if other countries could apply how the United States and Mexico improve their relationship? And I think there's no doubt that there's no limits to what we could achieve as a global society if all countries tried to apply. And that is my works cited.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very nice. So you can go ahead and applaud for him. Did you find particular products like the agriculture industry or whatever that were traded pretty regularly?
I think lots of automobile parts
Okay.
is one big
Okay.
product.
Okay. Do you guys have some questions for him?
Awesome.
What do you think is better, protectionism, in your personal opinion, protectionism or globalization?
Can you explain what's called
So free trade.
free trade?
That would be like right now we have high tariffs that we are imposing on China and they're imposing on us. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
So it's definitely not free trade. And we have had some agreements with the European Union and stuff, but there still are tariffs there. So just from what you've studied.
So, I mean, when you think about it, a lot of U.S. jobs have been outsourced overseas to like India and China, and so that is when protectionism probably would be more beneficial. While when you're just trying to improve the relationship between the United States and Mexico, since free trade will benefit their economies, then free trade would be better.
Okay. Anybody else have a question for him?
Great.
So there's no free trade with Mexico right now, right?
There is free trade with Mexico.
There is?
In the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement.
Okay,
And
that's still active?
Yeah.
Well,
it
no,
just started.
NAFTA, it's been improved on.
NAFTA
It's only the
started.
last like month that
Yeah,
this
it's been like
has
the
been
last 2 months.
approved.
Really? Okay.
It was a
Well, that was
renegotiation between or among Canada, United States, and Mexico.
Okay.
It was something that Trump actually campaigned on, and that promise that he has
Is there
fulfilled.
any benefits so far, or is it not been out long enough?
I don't know that it's been out long enough to
I don't
use
think it's,
What are the differences between the two? Do you know?
between,
NAFTA and
and
I don't know them off the top of my head. I have seen them. I think there was one thing, this isn't U.S. and Mexico, it's more United States and Canada.
yeah.
There was something with agricultural products, like dairy products coming from Canada that were so expensive that the USMCA changed and made it so it would be more available to United States markets.
That's what I've heard the most that I've understood so far.
And also lumber, the ones I read.
Canadian lumber.
Yeah, Canadian lumber, but he raised it on that one a while ago.
And notice it's not with South America. It's just down to Mexico. Okay. Very nice job.